but they don't know who they are. They thinking they black women. They thinking they black men here in America. No, we're not black. You're not black. That's a byword, right? You should be offended if somebody calls you black, call you African American. 2 continents, named after 2 European white men. Amerigo Vespucci, who come from America, and Native American, and Leo Scipio Africanus, who conquered the land of Ham, because Noah had 3 sons. She had Ham, Shem, and Japheth, and it was named by them. We are Shemitic people. How can we be anti-Semitic when we are the people of Shem, right?
Yeah, we're about to bring this thing out, man. Shalom. And first giving all honor, glory, and praise to YAHAWAH Shem. Much of like Hawashai. Hey, the brother was teaching mighty, man. And the brother was teaching y'all heritage, brother, right? But what do they call us, King? What do they call us nowadays? An elder. Elder, you've been listening for a minute, right? So what's our nationality? You right here with the green shirt, elder.
Huh?
What they call us now, man? I mean, I know you already know, you've been hearing a lot, yeah. But what do the world call us? Black, right? They call us Native American, right? Hispanic, Negroes, African Americans, right? But did you know that they called us that the same in the Bible? See, the Bible is the blueprint, right? Can you give me the book of Wisdom of Solomon? Chapter 1 and verse 5? No, Wisdom of Solomon? Song of Solomon, Salaki, 1 and 5. Hey, because they've been calling us this. They've been calling us all these bywords. But see, the thing is, we've been taught such a different way. First, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to YAHAWAH Shem, hey, we've been taught so many different ways to where now we don't even know who we are, and we just believe the people that oppressed us, right? But watch, the Bible even told us that. Go again. Songs of Solomon. There we go.
This is the book of Songs of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 5. I am black, but comely.
Hey, right? And that's crazy though, right? Because it ain't nothing new under the sun. So literally everything that they do, all they do is go in our book, figure out what the Most High called us, and they call it. That's crafty counsel, right? Go ahead, King.
Come, I am black, but comely. O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon, look not upon me because I am black.
Hey, right? So, hey, go to Acts chapter 13 and verse 1. Right? All these bywords they've been calling us, all they did is went in the Bible. They're not original. They don't find nothing original. All they do is they just find something and they rebrand their name and them finding it and them understanding it and give it to you and say, look, this is my understanding, you deal with it. And then now you think, oh, they're very intelligent, right? Their IQ is very above this world, when really they're really a very base man, right? Watch this.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 13, verse 1. Now there was in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon, that was called nigger.
Right? So now you got to ask, how did they know who to call nigger? Go 2 chapters back, 11 and 26. Acts 11 and 26. Watch, bring that out. Acts 11 and verse 26.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 11, verse 26.
So these are the people that was at the church at Antioch that they called nigger, right? Go ahead.
And when he had found him, he brought him into Antioch. And it came to pass that a whole year they assembled themselves with the church and taught much people. And the disciples were called Christians first in Antioch.
They were called Christians first in Antioch, and the disciples were the Israelites. So that's what I'm saying. There's nothing new under the sun. Give me the book of Ecclesiastes, unless you have a precept, Ecclesiastes 1:9. But if you got a precept, bring it on, King. Right? Because, hey, there's nothing new under the sun, man. Right? There's nothing new under the sun. So everything they're doing is just a carbon copy of what's been going on. Bring it on, King.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 11, verse 1. I say then, has God cast away his people?
So you got to ask yourself, because we're getting called a byword and a proverb, have God gotten rid of us? Do God not care about his chosen people? Go ahead, King.
God forbid. For I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin.
Even Paul was an Israelite, right? Paul was an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. Because we know you got to be Abrahamic in order for you to get the blessing. But the only thing that they lied to you about was they say everybody from Abraham, but it literally goes through the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Let's bring this up.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4, verse 16. There is no end of all the people.
So there's no end of all the people, brother, right? So if God, this is my favorite chart here, man. So if God made 18 nations, right, in the Bible, that means he never switched up. He never kind of said there's 18, now I'm going to jump to 15, then tomorrow he wake up, oh, there's 19 now. No, if he made 18 nations, there's 18 nations. Go ahead, King.
Con, there is no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them. They also that come after shall not rejoice in him.
And when they say they will not rejoice in him, how you rejoice in the Most High is by you honoring him, by you keeping his commandments. Go ahead, King.
Con, surely this is also with vanity and vexation of spirit.
How you doing, family? How y'all beautiful family doing over there? Y'all got 2 seconds for an inspirational word of the day? 1 quick second. 3 milliseconds. Going once, going twice, go. You may be Hebrew Israelites, King. You got 2 seconds real quick? 2 seconds, just 2 seconds. No 2 seconds? Come on, hey, look. Even little mama want to hear it. All praises. Hey, little mama. Hey, just remember this. You'll be an Israelite. Never forget that. Okay? Right? And bring it out Ecclesiastes 1 and 9. Oh, no, finish up where you was at. Oh, you was done? Oh, and he said, like, hey, it should be vanity and vexation of spirit because even everybody after that will not rejoice in God. How you rejoice in him? By keeping the commandments, man. Right? Bring out 1 and 9.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verse 9. The thing that have been, is it that which shall be?
And he said the thing that have been is the thing that which shall be, right? Because we know that, hey, there was vexation of heart. Nobody kept the commandments, right? Everybody loves God, but nobody keeps the commandments, right? Hey, and I can have asked anybody walking past, and they said, yeah, I love God, right? But they keep no commandments. Go ahead, King.
And that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun.
There's no new thing, man. So, hey, if they called us a byword and a proverb way back then, brother, guess what they're doing now, today? They're calling us a byword and a proverb, right? Hey, and I was going to say bring out 3 and 15 real quick. Ecclesiastes 3 and 15. Look like ham right here. Ham bugger. Go ahead. You think? Ham buggies. Shalom, Brother Zari. Shalom, King. Bring this out.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 15. That which have been is now.
Hey, so he said that which have been is now. Right? So if they calling you nigger back then, guess what they're doing, Elder? If they called you nigger back then, guess what they're doing? Yep, bring that out again.
Con. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 15. That which have been is now.
He said that which have been back then, guess what? It's right now. Right? Because they don't honor you. Do they respect you, brother? Did they respect us back then? So guess what happened in antiquity? Antiquity, they probably didn't respect us either. He said, so what have been then is now. Go ahead, King.
And that which is to be has already been.
He said the future is that which have already been. Look at our forefathers. Right? We tell our forefathers, our people now, to wear fringes. Look at that wall over there. This is prophetic. You see that? They got fringes on it. You see that? You see that on the wall? Look on the wall right there. Look at that middle picture on the wall. That middle picture. You see they got this? Look at that. Look at this, Elder. Elder, look at our shirt. Look at that. What's the difference? There's no difference, is it? He said that which have been, bring that back out, bro.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 15. That which has been is now.
He said that which have been is now, brother. Because you know what? Beyond popular belief, our people back then knew who they were. They knew why they came over here. They kind of knew why they went down the Bering Strait. Kind of flew from the Assyrians. Knew that they were coming over here for their last chance at redemption to the Most High. The Most High said, what have been is now. Go ahead, King.
And that which is to be has already been.
And that which is to be, which means that is coming in future prophecy, have already been, right? Go ahead.
And God required that which is past.
And God's going to require everything which is past, man. So he's going to require us to flee out of Babylon or Egypt, the place of captivity. He's going to require us to be in the wilderness. He's going to require us to come back to our true heritage, because nobody knows their true heritage. You know, y'all know y'all biblical nationality? What's y'all biblical nationality? Irish is not in the Bible. You see what I'm saying? Nobody knows their biblical nationality. Do you know your biblical nationality, brother? And brother in the pink, you know your biblical nationality? Do you know your biblical nationality? Right? If we went in the Bible and you look for, like, what would your national, like if you wrote your nationality down, like, you know, when you go look for a job application and you put your nationality, say, what nationality are you? If you had to go and put what the Bible called you, what God called you, what would be your biblical nationality? Do you know that? See, and nobody does. That's the reason why the Most High pulling us out now, so we can let everybody know their biblical nationality. Would you like to know your biblical nationality, King? Would you like to know your biblical nationality? Okay. All praises, man. You want to know your biblical nationality? You already know your biblical nationality. Absolutely. See? Yeah, absolutely. You know your biblical nationality. He Judah, right? But you saw that? I put a few people aside and asked them what's their biblical nationality. Nobody knows, right? Do you know your biblical nationality? What's your biblical nationality? According to the Bible, if you had to write it down. Do y'all know your biblical nationality? See? She belongs to you, but that's not a biblical nationality. And I'm just doing this just to prove a point. Nobody knows their biblical nationality, but everybody loves God. But if God gave you a biblical identity, then what is it though? And I'm just asking, do anybody know their biblical nationality? I'm asking everybody, do anybody know their biblical nationality? See, nobody does. What is your nationality according to the earth? Can I ask y'all real quick? So like if you signed a job application, according to your father, what would be your nationality? Hispanic, right? What about you? Right, but what would your father be? Right, so I don't want to give him the cheat code, man. I hate giving the cheat code away right away. So the reason why I ask that is because everybody thinks that God is sending Jesus back to get everybody. But literally, God sent Jesus back to die for who? But who sins? Everybody says our, right? So let's go to Jesus, what he said, right? Give me the book of Matthew chapter 1 and verse 21. And it's a great thing who your fathers are, because literally through history and biblical nationality and biblical prophecies, y'all actually fall underneath one of the 12 tribes of Israel, which will be who Jesus is coming back for. Right? So that's a great win. That's a great win because he's not coming back. Watch what he read.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 1, verse 21. And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Jesus.
Right? So we know it's Mary, and we're going to call his name Jesus. Watch what it means.
For he shall save his people,
All people.
his people,
All the people.
his people.
His is a possessive noun. If I said that's his watch, that would be his watch. Is that both of our watch? Is that all three of our watch? His. So it literally said Jesus came to save his people from what?
From their sins.
So now go to 2 and 6. So now I'm going to show you who his people is. Go ahead.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 2, verse 6. And thou Bethlehem, in the land of Judah.
We know he was born in Bethlehem. The swaddling little clothing. Remember that? Watch this.
Are not the least among the prince of Judah? For out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people,
All people.
my people.
God said his governor. A governor is a ruler, right? That's going to rule my people. Who?
Israel.
And that's where Jesus' people is. So now this is the $1 million question. Because we all want to be God's people. We all want to be chosen. So how do you know how to find out who the chosen people are? Because I could just tell you, oh, y'all following in the 12. But then what if I didn't know? How did I know that? Right? Why don't he know that? Because I probably can ask him, he loves God too. But why don't he know who the 12 tribes will be or God's chosen people will be today? Because I asked like 3 or 4 people, like, do they know their biblical nationality according to what God called them? Nobody. You saw that, didn't you? But God said, hey, because you know what Christ said? Do y'all remember what Christ said? Give me the book of St. John chapter 10 and verse 25. Just real quick, and then I'm going to show you a couple verses. I know it's everybody busy. I know people got stuff to do, but I just want to show y'all how y'all can identify God's chosen people. But first, this is what Christ said, 10 and 25.
This is the book of St. John, chapter 10, verse 25. I told you, Salaki, Jesus answered them, I told you, and you believe not. The works that I do in my Father's name, they bear witness of me. But ye believe not, because ye are not of my sheep.
So they didn't believe because they are not of the sheep. But guess why y'all stop? This next verse.
As I said unto you, my sheep hear my voice.
What are they, brother?
My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me, and I give them to them eternal life.
So God said his sheep he's going to give eternal life to. So now I brought that out to you. Let's give me the book of Deuteronomy chapter 29 and verse 1. So now I'm going to show you how you identify God's chosen people. Right? Because she said she's Hispanic and you said you're so-called black, right? So was there people that conquered your people? And what happened when they conquered your people? Were slaves, right? So now watch this, because this is something they don't teach us. What happened to your people? By who? By into slavery, right? Why don't they tell us this? Why don't they say it loudly? There you go. Absolutely, and that's what it is, because this hidden stuff, if you start putting all them people to learning this, they might find out that, hey, maybe we're not so separated. You're right. You're absolutely right. You're right. So watch this. 29 and 1.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 29, verse 1. These are the words of the covenant commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel.
So God commanded Moses to make a covenant with the children of Israel, right? So a covenant would be a binding agreement. So did that binding agreement ever change? It didn't. So no matter what, when they try to say that the God grafted in the Gentiles, did God say in the beginning he grafted in the Gentiles? So how is it all of a sudden God made a covenant which was a binding agreement with one nation of people, but yet we get to the end of the book and God never changed, but all of a sudden now we done changed what he done grafted into his covenant? If you look into your car note, right, and you read all your decoration pages, now when you get to the last month of your payments, right, did it change? Or do you still owe 500 if you started off at 500? But have you ever got to the end of your car note and it changed all of a sudden at the end? No. Whatever you agreed to and you signed, so that's what it is. And all they did was they got everything from the Bible. So literally, it's the same thing with the covenant. When God made that covenant with that one nation of people, it never changed. That binding agreement still stands to this day. He said an everlasting covenant. What does everlasting mean? Forever, right? So this is what I'm letting you know. This covenant that this brother about to read real quick, and we're going to get to the curses to identify them. Let's see if it ever changed. Go ahead, King.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 24, verse 3. And Moses came and told the people all the words of the Lord and all the judgments, and all the people answered with one voice and said, all the words which the Lord hath said, we will do. And Moses wrote all the words of the Lord and rose up early in the morning and builded an altar unto the hill and 12 pillars according to the 12 tribes of Israel.
Now skip down. Verse 8.
Verse 8.
Because I just wanted y'all to get the context of what was going on, because Moses got the word and the actual agreement. It's just like a marriage agreement, right? When you get married, you have to draft it up, saying on this particular day. Then it has a blank line, and it says, I'm just going to use for instance, Brother Milano, right, vowed to Sister Star Wars that, hey, they're gonna be together through better or worse, to better health or worse health, to death do them part. Same thing. God said, I'm going to be your husband, Israel. You're going to be my wife. And he had Moses draft up the marriage document, because that's all a covenant is. Same thing. A certificate of marriage. God drafted a certificate of marriage. You see what happened? Now let's see what God said.
Verse 7, and he took the book of the covenant and read in the audience of the people. And they said, all that the Lord has said, we will do and be obedient.
Right? Because, hey, then after y'all sign it, right? Then you get a stamp. Then you got to go up in front of a magistrate, don't you? And redo it again. Where do you think they got it from? Right here. That's exactly it. This is how they got it from. You do it first. You go down there, you do it, sign it, and then you got to go in front of the magistrate and do it again. Under the state. Absolutely. So now they're underneath whatever, like you said, the state. Let's just say the state now. But we know now this is under Moses, right? Go ahead.
And Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people and said, behold, the blood of the covenant which the Lord had made with you concerning all these words.
And that's why Christ came, because when the new covenant was enacted, without the blood, there can be no covenant. And that's what it said in Hebrews. So now we're going to show you how you find out who the Israelites are. Go ahead.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So in the book of Deuteronomy, there's a speaker and an audience. The speaker was always Moses. The audience was always Israel. Because this is the second law. So they came out of the wilderness. So now they're entering into the promised land. So he said, it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Go ahead.
To observe, to do all his commandments,
10 of them.
all his commandments,
The great two.
all his commandments, and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses,
All these good things,
all these curses,
all these great things, King.
all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So is a curse a good or bad thing? It can be good or bad. That's fair. So let's hear the first curse and let's see if it's a good or a bad thing, or it can be good or bad. Go ahead.
Cursed shall that be in the city,
So whoever these Israelites are, cursed are they going to be in the city, and what?
and cursed shall that be in the fields.
So what people in the city goes through chaos, goes through affliction, has to worry about being pulled over a routine traffic stop. What people, the black and brown people, see, and the jury was in, right? And what about the field? The cotton field, the tobacco field, the watermelon fields, right? The strawberry patches, the blueberry patches. Who does this work? Black and brown people. There's so much truth she's saying, it's crazy. Read the next verse. Watch this. But remember, we got to always keep an understanding that God said that this is going to happen to the Israelites, not black and brown. Right? So go ahead, King. 17.
Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store.
Who has to worry about their next meal? Everybody, right? But more or less, though, I'm talking about the most. Yeah, right? Black and brown people, right? He said their basket and their store. The basket means, hey, you got to worry about, hey, what you can put in that thing, whether you're going to pay your light bill or get you a loaf of bread, man. That's crazy. Why would you ever have to make that understanding? That's crazy. But, hey, it happens to us all the time. Who is it going to affect when Trump take out the EBT card? The black and brown people already affecting us, ain't it? That's crazy, man. Who's it going to affect that Medicare, Medicaid is going to get took out? But God said the Israelites. You see what's going on? Go to verse 32.
Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
What happened at the border? Watch this. What happened at the border when they started taking all of the Hispanic fathers and mothers away? They left their kids over. That's off. If you're going to deport, why don't you just deport the whole family? But most of them, they just deported the mom and the father, and then what they did is they put the children into the system. The Native Americans, they did that too. If you remember what happened when they took the Native American kids to the boarding schools in Canada, and said that the mom and dad was unfit to rule over their children. Who nominates you to make the decision of unruly? That's crazy. We already know how the blacks, CPS, Child Protective Service.
Similar circumstances for different.
There you go. What it is though is when you peel away the crafty counsel, it's the same thing. It's the children being removed from the parents. And that's crafty because when you remove the children from the parents, now they can't find out their heritage. You can't tell them the lineage of what grandma and grandpa said. Because my grandma told me how she used to do sharecropping. How my grandpa used to actually be a slave. But if you take me away from my family and I get brought up in the system, I never get that heritage from my family. Right? Bring this out. Keep it.
And thy eyes shall look and fare with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand.
I mean, you can't stop it. There's nothing you can do to stop them from actually leaving. Right, give me 54, watch this. Let's see who else this happened to, because remember, every time we bring a curse out, remember it's only to the let me bring one more on there, one more, 50, 68. Yeah, the last curse. So when I bring this curse out, he said the Israelites, and tell me who fits this curse. Go ahead, King.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So God talks in code, right? So Egypt is synonymous with something. So before I get the verse to go with that, do y'all know what the Israelites were doing in Egypt? Real quick.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
So Egypt is synonymous with bondage or slavery. So God talks in code, we're going to put slavery or bondage in place of Egypt, and watch how this over 4,000 year prophecy sound.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into slavery again.
But this time how?
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
One more time.
With ships.
Because you already know that the Spaniards took your people, and if you look this up, for the second time, 1400s, actually, the Spaniards took the Native Americans and the Hispanics across to Britain, to Europe, and all those places, right? The so-called blacks got brought from the west coast of Africa over here. So do you see the correlation between they're the same people, but they actually had different routes of slavery? Go ahead, King.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee.
By the way God had Moses to prophesy to him, go ahead.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
The homeland as well as the physical Egypt, go ahead.
And there,
When you get off those slave ships,
ye shall be sold.
and let's see who you were sold to. Go ahead.
Unto your enemies.
To your spiritual God-given enemies. Go ahead.
For bondmen and bondwomen.
Slave men and slave women. Go ahead.
And no man shall buy you.
And that word buy is redeemed, right? Because Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Marcus Garvey, right? Black Lives Matters, and a lot of different type of organizations trying to redeem the black people, the Hispanic people, right? But hey, only person who's going to have that glory is Jesus Christ, who the world calls Jesus, but his name is YAHAWAH, he who saves. Can y'all say YAHAWAH? All praises. And can you say Yahweh? Yahweh will be God, he who exists. Right? So all praises. Look that up. Hey, and all praises, y'all be Israelite. You'll be from the tribe of Judah, and you will be from the tribe of Issachar. Right? So all praises. Y'all be safe, man. Hey, there's a card. Look that up. That's our YouTube channel. That's our email. That's our web page and everything. Yeah, y'all have a blessed night. Come on. All praises. We dealt with this brother before. How you doing, man? All praises. I remember you too, man. How you doing today, man? All right, all praises, man. So, give me the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31. No, he ain't ready. He ain't ready. Give me another reading, yeah. Let's stand over here. He ain't ready yet. I'm gonna build him on some more though. He can read, but it's just not yet. Right? All praises, man. Because at the end of the day, Jeremiah chapter 31 and verse 30. Right? Because hey, at the end of the day, it could be a lot of other doctrines coming out, but there's only one doctrine, and that's the Most High's truth. Go ahead, King.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31 and verse 30. But everyone everyone shall die for his own iniquity.
Right? So everybody's going to get judged for their own iniquity, right? Give me the book of 1 John chapter 3 and verse 4. Right? Because everybody's going to die for their own iniquity. Right? What's that iniquity, though? We got to find that out through the scriptures, because we all say, well, you know, it's not saving the cat out of the tree. It's not helping Granny across the street. It's a feel-good story. But the scriptures are going to let you know what that iniquity is that we're going to die for. What is going to be the judgment in the end, that when Christ opened up the books and judged every man for his work, what work is he judging? Right? It's not based on our own philosophy and our own understanding. Bring this out, King.
This is the mighty book of 1 John, chapter 3 and verse 4. Whosoever committed sin.
So if you commit sin, what do?
Transgressive also the law.
So that's that iniquity that you're going to be judged from. Go ahead, King.
For sin,
or what?
For sin,
one more time.
For sin is the transgression of the law.
So sin is the transgression of God's law. So that iniquity that you're going to be judged for, that he was bringing out in that 30 we're going to come back to, and that's the sin. But I want to bring this Romans 6 and 23 out first real quick, and then we're going to go back to that. Because he said the sin is the transgression of the law. So now everything you do has a payment. Because if you do righteous, you get a righteous payment. But if you do wickedly, you get a wicked payment. So let's find out that payment of wickedness that you get. Bring this out, King.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 6, verse 23. For the wages of sin is death.
So the payment that you get for sin, we just found out was the transgression of God's law, is death. Go ahead, King.
But the gift of God is eternal life.
What did he say?
But the gift of God is eternal life through Jesus Christ our Lord.
Through Jesus Christ our Lord. Once again, it was a possessive noun. So it's a nation of people that is our Lord or our God. Go ahead, King.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6 and verse 25. And it shall be our righteousness.
So everybody righteous.
Our righteousness. If we observe to do these commandments before the Lord our God, as he had commanded us.
Hey, and he commanded only one nation of people, though, right? Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Or did he command everybody? But start at 24 real quick. Start at 24. Watch this.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6 and verse 24. And the Lord commanded us.
Who is the us?
Us.
Who? Absolutely. But who is the us? Everybody?
Jacob.
All right, real quick, go to 29 and verse 1. Deuteronomy 29 and 1, and we're going to go back to that.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 29 and verse 1. These are the words of the covenant.
Uh-oh, the covenant, the binding agreement. Watch this.
Which the Lord commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel.
So the us will be the children of Israel. The children of Israel. That will be the us. So now let's go back.
Did the book say the children of Israel?
Yeah, the book said the children of Israel.
We ain't read it.
We read it again. Listen.
Deuteronomy chapter 29 and verse 1. These are the words of the covenant.
You know what a covenant is, King? You know what a covenant is? A covenant is a binding agreement. It's a binding agreement, right? Go ahead.
Which the Lord commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel.
To make with us.
To make with the children of Israel.
Right? And Deuteronomy, so 29 would be after the chapter 6, right? So now let's go back to chapter 6 and verse 24, and let's find out who the us is. Right? Because he said with the children of Israel. That was 29. That was chapter 29. So now let's go back 23 chapters and find out, since he told you in 29 who this chapter 6 was. Go ahead, King.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6 and verse 25.
You go 25?
24. And the Lord commanded us to do all these statutes, to fear the our God.
Our God, right? And that's possessive. Not everybody's God. Our God. Go ahead.
For our God always, that he might preserve us alive, as it is at this day.
As it is this day, right? Keep reading.
And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all his commandments before the Lord our God, as he commanded us.
And he only commanded Israel, right? So bring this out, King.
This is the book of 1 Chronicles, chapter 16, verse 13. Oh, you seed of Israel.
Oh, you who?
Oh, you seed of Israel. his servant.
His who?
His servant.
Who's the servant, King? Your brother with the black and mild. Brother with the black and mild. Who's his servant?
You got black folk. Look, you got one church, you got one body. You got one church.
What's that church? Give me that in Genesis.
Hey, look.
Oh yeah, Acts chapter 10 as well.
You got one church.
But I was gonna go back to Genesis.
You can't find
Exodus it was.
and now they're coming to book. Wait, white folk, black folk.
But I'm not saying white and black though. I never said white and black. I said the Israelites.
There's one body, one church.
You're right, but what's that one body in one church though? He tells you who that one body in one church is, King. Do you want to find out who that one body in one church is? Because the scriptures tell you. So let me ask you this question. Give me the book of Acts chapter 5 verse 29, just real quick. I gotta ask, this is just a question I have to ask.
You can't deny.
Okay, and I get that.
You can't deny.
So answer this.
And different nationality.
No.
One body, one church.
Okay, so well, let's hear this, and then we're gonna address that question.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 5, verse 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we want to obey God rather than men.
So would you agree with that?
Trust nobody. Would you trust nobody?
Want to obey nobody but God, right? Rather than men, right? Would you agree with that?
Would you trust no man? Do as I do.
Okay, but
do as I do.
all I'm asking is, do you believe what that just said?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're in agreement, right? Would you agree with that?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
So I agree with that too. So no, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I got you.
No, I just wanted to read that part to see if we're walking together.
I got you.
So now we're walking together, right? So now we say it is one church. I agree with you. There is one church.
I got you.
But we got to understand what that one church is. Bring that out in Acts 10 and 1.
10 and 1.
Or 10 in Acts 10 is 10 and 1.
Okay, come on. This is the book of Acts, chapter 10 and verse 1.
That is it.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 7 and verse 38. And it reads, come. Yeah. Come. Salaki. This is the book of Acts, chapter 7 and verse 38. And it reads, this is he that was in the church in the wilderness.
In the what?
In the wilderness.
So it was he that was in the church in the wilderness. Who was in the wilderness? You know who was in the wilderness?
I do.
Who's in the wilderness?
He read. I'm listening to you.
I'm just only asking a question. Because he said this is he that was in the church in the wilderness.
Look,
Who was in the church in the wilderness?
people say it's two. People say it's three. But if you in the mind, you in the soul, guess what? There was one.
I just asked, who's in the wilderness?
I got you. Keep reading. This is the
Acts chapter 7 and verse 38. This is he that was in the church in the wilderness with the angel which spake to him in Mount Sinai.
So who's at Mount Sinai? Who's at Mount Sinai? I'm just asking. Who's in Mount Sinai? Because he said there was he in the church in the wilderness at Mount Sinai. Who's at Mount Sinai, King? Go ahead.
This is he that was in the church with the angel which spake to him at Mount Sinai and with our fathers.
With who, Father?
And with our fathers who received the lively oracles to give us, to give unto us, to whom our fathers would not obey, but thrust him from them, and their heart turned back again to Egypt.
Who?
To Egypt.
Who was in Egypt? Was everybody was in Egypt?
What translation are you reading?
It doesn't matter. They're all the same. They're all the same.
No, it's not. It's not the same.
They're all the same.
What translation?
They're all the same. They're all the same.
It's not the same. Anything you take.
Watch this. I'm finna prove it to you. Wait, before we do that, I'm finna just show him. I'm finna show him real quick.
He won't let me talk. He'll come.
You got it? I'm letting you talk now. I'm just gonna prove that what you're saying is incorrect.
Any translation takes the old and the new and make any dialogue of translation.
Translation don't mean anything.
It's blasphemy. Straight blasphemy. Point blank verse.
I'm finna show you. I'm finna show you. Watch this. I'm finna show you. I'm going to show you that you're absolutely wrong. Hey, this is the King James. But I'm going to show you that you're absolutely wrong, though. Real quick, bro. Real quick. I'm going to show him. I just want to show him one time, bro. I just want to show him one time, bro. Watch this. I'm going to show you. Bibles.
They trying to find. You can't tell me that.
We're reading the King James. So what you're arguing about is is neither here nor there. But I want to show you that what you're saying is absolutely incorrect, though. What is it?
To the spirits of just men made perfect. So who are the spirits that are of the church that was written in heaven? Right before time, right? This is the book of Exodus, chapter 4 and verse 22. And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. As I say unto thee, let my son go, that he may serve me. And if thou refuse to let him go, behold, I will slay thy sons.
So he said theirs were the sons, Israel, right? So I'm gonna show you real quick, just a quick proof, right? Read the translation, and we're gonna read the first verse of the Bible on different translations, and we're gonna see if it's a difference. Because really the only difference is it just makes certain words where you might not understand. It just breaks it down to layman terms. Wait, before you make your point, let's just read it. We're gonna let the Bible talk.
Look,
this is the book of Genesis 1 and 1. The KJV translation. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth.
All right, now go to the next one. Now it's in the beginning, right? God created heaven and earth. Let's see what the next one said.
New King James Version. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth.
Oh, they're all saying the same thing. What's the next one say?
The New Language Translation. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth.
Isn't it crazy how they're just saying the same? It literally says the same thing no matter what transliteration. It's not a translation, it's transliteration, which means that it's just really simplifying certain words. That's all it means. You got it, King. You got to go. You got it, King. Go ahead. You got it.
I don't want to talk when you talk about number 4.
No, I'm saying you got it. You got it. I'm giving you the 4.
There is no translation from the old to the new. Or if you truly sick, he gonna give you guys that understand it. To read everything that's in the old ordinance. So you ain't got to follow nothing because you follow him. And guess what? He gonna gas you. So you don't need no translation, no dialogue. Because guess what? He'll give you understanding what's in. Look, he gonna give you understanding what's in the old and the new. You ain't got to change the word. You ain't got to change me to us. You got to change them to y'all. Anytime you take any kind of translation from the old and the new, when you truly sick, he gonna guide you and give you understanding of what you read. Don't go.
So you don't need nobody to teach you?
Look.
Do you need anybody to teach you, yes or no?
Y'all do that thing, go.
I'm just asking.
I'm going.
I asked you a question.
I'm going.
I asked you a question, brother.
I like what y'all doing, but guess what? The blind lead the blind. If anybody don't know,
What you say? What you say? This madness, man. Bring this out real quick.
You want 8 and 8?
Is 8 and 8 when he gave the sense? Yeah, bring it out.
This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 8, verse 8. So they read in the book of the law of God distinctly.
So when he said he read the book of the law distinctly, right? He literally saying that God sent men that had understanding. And they read out of the scriptures, out of the scrolls back then. Go ahead, King.
And gave the scent.
And did what?
And gave the scent.
So he walked up smoking a black and mild and told us what the scriptures say.
And gave the sense and caused them to understand the reading.
And that's what we out here doing. Because literally everybody that comes up here, they're going to have their own understanding. They're going to have their own meaning. They're going to think that the Most High sent them. But guess what? Hey, if the Most High sent you, then you literally got to be walking a specific way. Which means you got to clean yourself up. If you're smoking, you got to get rid of that. If you're kind of keeping the ways of this world, you got to get rid of that. And you got to kind of walk circumspectly. Right? So you can't just do what you want to do and then expect that the Most High is going to be using you. So I get what he's saying, but at the same sense, he got to understand that, hey, sometimes you just gotta humble down and ask the proper questions. If you want to know, just ask. Because I'm not coming up here proud either. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I got all the understanding. But in the same sense, what I'm telling you though is, if you want to know who that one church is, then hey, we're going to show you who that one church is, because your understanding of everybody is not what the Most High said. Right? So bring your precept on.
It's the book of Acts, chapter 8 and verse 30. And Philip ran thither to him and heard him read the prophet Isaiah, and said thou, Salakia, this book of Acts, chapter 8 verse 30. And Philip ran thither to him and heard him read the prophet Isaiah, and said, understand thou what thou readest?
What did he say?
Salakia. Understand what thou readest?
He said, hey, even though the brother read it, he said, do you understand what you read? Right? Because, hey, just because you read something don't mean you comprehend it. Because reading and comprehension is two different things. Right? Bring it out, King?
Verse 31. And he said, how can I?
How can I what?
How can I? Except some man should guide me.
Let's what?
Except some man shall guide me. And he desired Philip that he would come up and sit with him.
And he should come up and sit with him. Why would he sit with him? So he can give him that understanding, right? Give me the book of Hebrews chapter 4 and verse 12. Bring this out, King.
This is the book of Matthew chapter 15 verse 22. And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast and cried unto us, saying, have mercy upon me, O Lord, thou son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with the devil.
Right? So, hey, a lady of the Canaanites came up. Hey, brother, you got any questions? I just want to ask before I slide past it. Right? You know your biblical nationality, King? Judah, yep, you Judah. Yep, Judah. Come on, bro. Right? So, what is the requirements?
To have good judgment and to keep faith so that you can always keep good judgment and have good discernment so that you can recognize evil from good and then you can recognize when to do evil. Like, I feel like my just to my faith is to know when not to harm or when not to judge. Because I feel like the judgment of my race onto Jesus, I feel like that's what caused him to be on the cross. I feel like the judgment of those the superior religion that been there longer than others, black people been there longer. So we got superior judgment. So they keep saying that's really how it goes. So I feel like that's how it was back in the day. And we the ones that helped put Jesus on the cross. But it was our system that said to do that in person, we probably would have something to be like some type of ceremony, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So basically what happened is we did something that caused that to happen. Right? So it was really our sins that put him up there. I'm gonna let the brother bring his precept out and I'll bring it up.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 9. Open thy mouth. Open thy mouth. Judge righteously.
What did he say?
Judge righteously. And plead the cause of the poor and needy.
So how do you how do you judge righteously?
Judge righteously.
Yep.
You have to reciprocate.
Matthew 19.
Or how you deal with righteousness. Follow the law. Somebody else's opinion. There you go. Point your judgment.
Okay, I'm gonna show you. Give me Psalms 119, verse 142. We're gonna get emphysema or possibly death. Right? Lung cancer, all those things will be judgments based on smoking cigarettes. Right? Right? We ain't necessarily got anything to do with that. It's just that, hey, this is the cause and this is the effect of you doing this. So if you're smoking, chances are you're going to get lung cancer, death, emphysema, or something of that nature, because that is what happens when you put something foreign into your lungs. Because the only thing goes into your lungs is what? What is supposed to go into your lungs? Air. What else is supposed to go in your lungs? Air. Nothing else. So if you put something other than air in your lungs, probably is going to mess up your lungs. Air. Oxygen. Right? Oxygen. That's what goes in the lungs. If you put some opposite of oxygen, then it's going to go ahead and go. Hey, but finish that. I want to finish that Deuteronomy, okay? Right, so this is what the Most High is literally telling Israel. He's saying that, look, if you don't do the commandments, this is all he gave you, right? So keep going.
Read on. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4 and verse 6. Verse 5. Verse 5. And it reads, behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me.
So he commanded Moses to give us these, right? Go ahead.
That ye should do so in the land whither ye shall go into possession. Keep therefore and do them.
He says, so keep therefore and do them. He didn't give us an option, right? He didn't give us a plan B, a plan C. No, he said, he gave us statutes and judgments, even as the Most High commanded Moses to do. He said, therefore do them. Right? Go ahead, King.
Keep therefore and do them.
Keep. So not only can do them, but keep them also. Go ahead.
For this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nation.
He says, so this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nation. Right? So are they literally telling us that we have wisdom? How do they look at our people? Do they say that we're wise?
Yes.
They say we're wise?
Yes.
No, they say we're dumb niggas. When have you heard that black people are wise? No, we say we're wise.
In my family, I'm screaming.
No, I'm just saying, we say we're wise, but no, according to the other nations, we're not wise at all. Right?
I always told me I was wise.
No, I'm talking about us as a nation, King, not as individuals, as a nation.
I don't hear nobody talking about
No, I'm talking about as a nation. What do the other nations think of us?
I think they think we like excitement. They don't go for it.
But they don't call us wise, though.
I think they know that we're wise because they take the lead of our students.
No, actually, we're not wise. Because you know why? Because we don't even follow our own calling. We don't even follow what we're supposed to follow. If the rules and regulations of crossing the street, right, is what? Look both ways before you go, right? What if you don't look both ways and a bus is coming? You're going to get hit, right? So that means you're not following the rules and regulations of crossing the street. So I'm saying, you're not calling us wise because we're not following the rules and regulations on what we're supposed to be, right? Y'all got any questions? Y'all got any questions? Y'all want to know what we're teaching? All right. So what we're teaching, right? We're literally teaching. I know we dealt with him before. So what we're teaching, right? Can I ask y'all a question? So if y'all were to sign an application for a job, what would y'all put your nationality down as? Black and white, right? 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 Native American, right? According to your father. Yep. According to your father, right? So we would put something like that. So now my $1 million question is, if God made 18 nations, right? Are those nations part of the 18 that he made? Because he literally made 18 nations. So watch this. Read Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 15 that you brought before. Because watch what he said when he used King Solomon. He had King Solomon to say this to remind us of one certain thing. Bring it out, King.
Con. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4, verse 16. There is no end of all the people.
So God made 18 nations, right? So with God making 18 nations, he said there was no end of all the people. Right? Go ahead.
Even of all that which have been before them. They also that come after shall not rejoice in him. Surely this is also vanity and vexation of spirit.
So the reason why he said there'll be vanity and vexation of spirit is because he said that all them that come after will not rejoice, which means they will not keep God's order. They will not keep God's commandments, right? His instruction, because Torah just means instructions. And that Torah really was made for everybody to follow, but he gave it to one nation of people for a heritage. But if you notice that everybody law, it follows the same thing. If you murder somebody, what happens to them? You gotta get punished. You either get murdered or you get put in prison. Well, that came from what he gave the Israelites, right? If you steal, what do you think should happen to him? She should get punished, right? They got that from the Bible, right? You shouldn't commit adultery with another man's wife. Where did they get that from? The Bible. So literally God made the Bible so we would know what morally was correct, how you should operate on the earth, right? So, but what happened is, even though the Bible is a perfect operation tool, no one follows it. But God literally said that nobody was, and that's why he said, surely them that come after will not go and follow it, and there'll be vexation of spirit. Right? So that's why he said that. You got a precept? Bring it up.
The book of Acts, chapter 17, verse 26. And have made of one blood all nations of men, for to dwell on all the face of the earth, and hath determined the times before appointed, and the bounds of their habitation.
And the bounds of their habitation, because he literally showed you the right way to live, right? But now the $1 million question is, even though he gave us an understanding of what we should do and how we should do to live, who did he give that instructions to? Did he give it to everybody on the earth, or did he give it to one nation of people? Because now that is the $1 million question. Did he send his son back to save everybody, or did he send his son back to only save one nation of people? See, that's the $1 million question, because I know I was a deacon growing up in church, and I was taught that God came and sent his son back for everybody. But then when I combed through the scriptures kind of say a different story. So give me the book of Psalms chapter 147, verse 19 and 20, and bring this out.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 1, verse 21. And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Jesus.
Right, so we know who we're talking about, right? We're talking about Jesus, right? And we're talking about the mother, Virgin Mary, right? Go ahead.
For he shall save his people.
And it's an actual possessive noun, right? Just like I'll say that's Coach's watch, right? That will be his watch. That will not be our watch. So he said he will save his people, go ahead,
from their sins.
From their sins. Which sin is transgression of the law, which is the breaking of God's law. So now let's see who he gave the law to. Psalms 147, verse 19 and 20.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 147, verse 19. He showed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He has not dealt so with any nation.
So he said, all the other nations, the other 17 nations, he have not did that with them. Go ahead, King.
And as for their judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord.
But the judgment of finding out who Israel is in Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15 through 68. Right? Bring 2 and 6 out though. Go ahead.
The book of Matthew.
You already know.
And verse 6, and it reads, and thou Bethlehem, in the land of Judah,
Because we know this is Jesus. He was born in Bethlehem, right? Swaddled clothing. Go ahead.
are not the least among the princes of Judah. For out of these shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel.
Israel, right? So, what the main consistent misconception of the Bible is a lot of people will skip to the New Testament and they'll begin to start saying that, hey, in the New Testament, Paul has said that he granted everybody in, that the Gentiles, but when you start breaking the Bible down with the actual concordance and you start finding out what that Gentile is, it starts talking about actually sometimes Israel is that Gentile, but always the other nation, but sometimes it's actually the Israelites, and you just have to know when and where, right? So give me the book of 1 Corinthians, you got it. Yep, and what you